What kink fetish turn on do you just not understand? There's somebody in my city who gets off from popping exercise balls. He got in trouble for breaking into our IMCA to do it, and also a high school. Balloon fetish. When I was working as a cam girl, I had dudes who just wanted me to interact with balloons. Not even in a SI way. Always. Some just wanted me to pop them. Let the air squeak out of them. My fave session I ever did was a guy who wanted me to rub him until they got staticky, then stick them to my body. It was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing while it was happening. And that was a big turn on for him. Girls having fun. So he paid well and I had a fun time messing about with sticky balloons. Phew. It's a relief when your kinks are not in the top comments. Those dudes who like to get their cock and balls violently beaten by the partner. My wife calls it brutal to the noodle. She is way more into it than I am. Getting your DCK punished. People shitting on each other. People shitting on each other. What are you doing on Reddit then? Prolapse or gaping. I honestly can't figure out how a person enjoys watching someone's parts getting dilated or turned inside out. The thought of it gets me every time. Sounding. For those who don't know. Metal rods in the pee hole. Edit. I am not into this. Groin kicks. Vomit. Snuff stuff. How do you get turned on by people dying? I really can't wrap my mind around that. Financial domination. Like what's SI about giving some hoe all your money? Whoever gave me gold has been a very naughty boy. Sticking it in the right nostril. Not me. I like to stick it in the wrong nostril. Vor. I do not understand it and I frankly don't think I want to. I think it turns my husband on when I'm sick. It's just a hunch. He's never admitted it. But after being with someone for 10 years you tend to notice things. I normally have a higher sex drive than him. But when I am sick he cannot keep his hands off me. I don't know if it's cause it's one of the few times where he knows I don't want sex so he has to work for it. I don't know if it's cause I'm so independent it's one of the few times he gets to take care of me. I don't get it. I look like death. My hair is matted. I got snot going down my face and I sound like an old man. And he wants to sex this? I don't get it. Every time I ask. He shrugs his shoulders and goes IDK, but I'd like to know what it is so I could keep doing it if that's what he likes. Unless it's the sickness itself. Then he's just soul. Probably the dependency vulnerability. Gonna have to be the horse people on real sex. Lem, get this straight. You put a saddle on your back. Fake tail in your bum. Clomp around in huge fake hooves and pretend to be a horse. And that's SI. Edit. I still don't get it. But hey. Whatever y'all like I guess. Crush PRN. Just how? Duck you guys. You mentioned something. People ask what it is. Only response is don't Google. You don't want to know. Well, I am now about to Google this because you sucks won't give even a brief description. This is all on you. Edit. Apparently it's videos of ladies in heels stepping on small creatures. I saw a lobster. And a couple frogs in the thumbnails. How? How about why? People literally crushing animals to death with their bodies is not a ducking fetish. It's murder. Clown SX. I suppose I get it, but it still freaks me out. Anything involving food goes way over my head. I like SX. And I like food. But I see no reason to combine the two. Every single time the cleanup has to be a ducking nightmare. Feederism. Everything about it confuses me. Thought that said federalism. I once removed a kind of metal plug from a man's urethra. He couldn't do it himself. I have no idea what the point of that thing was. For the record, I'm a doctor. Broadly speaking, I'm pretty open-minded. As long as it's consensual and isn't hurting anyone. I don't see any particular problem with any particular kink or fetish. I've got some pretty weird ones myself. So far be it from me to judge someone just cause they enjoy furry PRN or cuckolding or 50 on 1 bukkake gangbangs or whatever. That said, I'll never understand the stuff that poses a legit health risk. Scat. Prolapse anything. Blood piercing play. Anything that might get you sick and put you out of work for a few days or, at worst, could potentially have lifelong consequences if done improperly or with a sick partner. I know there's inherent risk in almost any sexual act, but that kind of stuff just adds a whole new, seemingly unnecessary level to it. Broadly speaking, very nice. Being attracted to machinery. I could only imagine walking into a job site and seeing somebody butt naked having sex with the fax machine. Edit. I pressed post early. Edit. I can't really call this a kink but maybe a creative show of sadism? I'll replace kink with video. Still the weirdest ducking thing. One specific video I came upon was a lady on a chair that was nailed to the ceiling. They tied her in, let her hair down and then tied a bucket to her using her own hair. They filled the bucket gradually. I don't ducking understand. I entered the comments with the intention of saying stomachs and feeling weird, but with the other comments I'm seeing I feel a little better. Fisting. What am I? A puppet? Aside from scat. etc. One that I just don't understand is feet. I know it is common, but I find them a turn off, not even neutral. Gonna be honest here. I have a foot thing and don't understand it at all. I'm not crazy about feet either. I'm not Tarantino. I don't think like, damn those are SI feet. Or get off on like foot worship or toe sucking or any of that. It was actually an accident and kind of introduced by my so. Where we're laying in bed one night when and we're kind of curled up face to face when a foot brushes my sin stuff and all of sudden, bam. Full mast and right into a foot job. No idea where or why. But hey, it's fun. Now I'm a foot ducking master. I'm just reading here in order to find out if one of my kinks is on the list. So far, I'm apparently normally deviated. Sex before marriage, you sinners. Inflation fetish is where the person inflated explodes in the end. Like, I can understand giant expanding boobs or obesity kinks, but completely destroying another person like a bomb? WTF. Ruined orgasms. Just why? I mean it goes along with edging. But actually if you ruin it properly it doesn't even cause a refractory period. You can just keep going after a few seconds. Personally, I enjoy watching people have ruined orgasms because it plays into the SM part of BDSM for me. Specifically the sadism part. There's some sort of sadistic pleasure to be had with watching somebody get so aggressively close to an amazing orgasm and feeling it tip over, just to have the amazing feeling snatched away. Even though your muscles are still contracting. The whimpers give sadistic pleasure as well. Sometimes they beg. 2. Being cuckolded. What possible enjoyment could having someone else duck your wife or girlfriend provide? Masochism. But mental. Not physical. I mean interracial cuckoldry is about racial inferiority. Ethnomasochism. I was so confused I actually had to go and learn about this one. Just seems like to me that this is literally the opposite of what the human brain should want. I mean not only loss of procreation, but companionship. I personally don't understand water sports and diapers. It's just not my thing. Yeah. Water polo is really weird. I understand that not rope work is artistic. But I don't find it SI at all. Being bound and helpless is one thing. But to be roped, suspended, have your tits bulging out. Fun fact. Shibari was originally a very unique form of actual torture. The knots and bindings would be used to cut off circulation and hit pressure points that would bring about excruciating pain. The flip side is, you can also hit certain points that will bring on extreme pleasure. Shibari is a really interesting fetish when you look at its origins. All that said, I'm not into it either. I don't understand how people find the Japanese PRNO style female moaning SY. That ht sounds like you're ducking a squeaky toy. They sound miserable. It's like they're in constant pain. Maybe they are. In either case. Ugh. Well. I learned last night that there are people who are really into watching people sink in quicksand. And I'm still struggling with that. All the My Little Pony stuff. Some people are actually sexually attracted to it. Incest. Every damn PRNO nowadays has to have an incest storyline. And for literotica. Sorting by highest rating just means sorting by what has the most incest. I really wish incest PRN were less mainstream. The thing no one seems to get about kinks and fetishes is that if you don't have that particular kink or fetish, it does not make sense to you and never will. It's something that's literally hardwired into your brain. Not something you can learn. It's not like you can explain to someone who doesn't like eating ass why you like eating ass and suddenly they're gonna be like, oh now I get it. I'm gonna go try it. If your friend doesn't like onions, you can't sit down with them and explain why you like onions and suddenly they will understand how to like onions. So in that vein, I don't understand why people like a lot of things. But I understand that they do. And that whatever makes them happy is perfectly okay. That one fetish where people repost the same overdone topic on a Reddit over and over to reap the karma. Fat women fetish. Adult babies. It's like pedophilia with an extra helping of what the duck. Edit. I see a lot of people into this chiming in saying 1. It's not necessarily sexual. And 2. It's not at all linked to pedophilia. While that may be true on a personal level, I am hesitant to change my opinion until I see actual studies. If someone is willing to link those, I would be more than willing to read them. But TBH I'm a little afraid to Google them. I don't care much for adult babies. But it really has nothing to do with pedophilia at all. I've seen people give tons of explanations of it. But the one thing they all make clear is that it has nothing to do with children. Not even the tiniest bit. Feet. Literally why? Well, I like boobs too but I don't know why. All I know is that it gets my DCK hard and pleasurable. When you think about it, it's just fat on the chest area that has no other function than to feed babies their milk. Humans are just weird in general. But everything needs to have a reason. And that's how I embrace all my disgusting fetishes and became a degenerate. Thank you very much. Penis in vagina SX. Gross. Vor. Quite a few. But sadism masochism is the biggest head scratcher for me. I understand that there goes a lot of trust and whatnot into such relationships. And no one actually gets hurt. Etc. But there's nothing arousing about inflicting or feeling pain to me. It's one hell of a turn-off though. Endorphins. I am into. Why too much. One of the few things I'll never get is furries. Like. How is that hot? I feel like most people think of people having SX in suits when they think of furry PRN. But 99% of furry PRN is NSFW art. Blueberries. I found a ton of the stuff on DeviantArt and never understood what's supposed to be harassing on being turned into a giant fruit that leaks juice. Is it a metaphor for an erection? They watched Charlie in the Chocolate Factory at just the right time during puberty. Pee stuff and sounding. People who have had sex with Unculture. The whole daddy thing is so ducking weird. It's a dominance thing. And usually not an actual association with someone's father. Edit source. I'm into it and my so is into calling me daddy. No, she does not have daddy issues. And I get along great with her father. And we're in bed. In no way are we thinking about anyone's parents. Bug chasing. I have a good friend who is aroused by the idea of being swallowed alive by a giant woman. I don't judge him for it. Why judge for a fetish? But I just don't understand. People who get turned on by those little aliens from Toy Story. 01. Balloons 02. Scat, urolagnia is fine. 03. CBT 04. Prolapse, gaping is tolerable but prolapse just completely shuts me down. 05. Vomit 06. Sounding 07. Spanking 08. Girls acting like they underage. 09. Excessively large dildos or boobs or lips 10. Feet. There's probably a lot more out there. Far out. Left field stuff. There's one where they buy the new $200 kicks that you have to wait in line for. Then do an unboxing. Then pee in them. And then stick their socked foot in and squish it around. It doesn't even violate YouTube rules the way they do it. All the comments talk about it being really hot. Animal torture. Ducks. I just don't understand why some people find them so SI. Also, missionary for the sole purpose of procreation. Oh. Ponies. Particularly the animated variety. Children's show. Disgusting. Bestiality. Disgusting. My Little Pony pornography. Gyro. What the duck is interesting about blood and gore? Legs and arms being cut off isn't SI. It's repulsive. Note. I'm not trying to diss anyone's fetish here. It just makes no sense to me. It may be just that I'm weak stomached. Foot fetish. I don't. Period SX. I can't think of a time when I feel less SI. A lot of women claim they are more horny during their periods. I wouldn't know. And most guys don't care. I would know. Not really a fetish though, is it? Eating poop. Like seriously, WTF. Day eat poo. I never wanted kids. I loved giving cream peas. There was an inherent flaw in my fetish. Now, I have at least 2 children that I'm aware of. Bobs and vagine. NLSX. But since a ton of people find it fun, I guess I'm just weird. I don't get it either. Especially when there's a self-lubricating orifice built specifically for the purpose of SX just inches away. NL. Honestly. I just don't get it. It's fine, but it just doesn't seem like the holy grail of dirty SX it's made out to be. Scatter do dat tat. Swinging and letting your wife duck other people. Seems like people just like being submissive or being a PSSY. I can't see how anyone would respect the other once they allow that shit to go on. Edit. I think humanity's hang up on monogamy is that we're too insecure to handle the alternative. Myself included. But I have a lot of respect for people self-assured enough in their relationship to navigate those waters. In fact, I'd say we're the pussies in comparison. Hey, there's a difference between not understanding and demeaning people who are into it. I've known swingers who are the most secure. Happy people who have stable relationships. Who's you to say they're pussies? Butt stuff. Aren't you a wee bit apprehensive the first time you eat ass? I assume most of these eat the booty like groceries comments are left by braggadocios middle schoolers, but I could be wrong. Full stop. Full stop. Wrong. Once we do a deep cleaning in the shower, I'll eat my so's ass like a fat kid on cake. Well, I was going to say I never understood the feet fetish thing. Then I read some of the other comments. And now it's time to close Reddit for a few days. YouTube videos of obese people eating on cam. With like 25k subs. Ducking weird.